Take a guess at what this might be. Well, if you said it was the sound a gibbon makes in the jungle, you can go to the top of the class. But it's why it's making that sound that interests researchers who've been studying gibbons, amongst them Dr. Esther Clark of Durham University. Now, it's doing it because it's threatened, right?
That's right. So this is the sound they make when they first encounter a leopard in the forest.
A leopard specifically.
Yes, a clouded leopard.
So there will be different sounds, and this is what's so interesting, isn't it? There'll be different sounds for different predators, different threats.
Yes, so that's something we see in a lot of animal species. So that's not that new. What's new with the gibbons is that the sounds are very similar to our ears, at least.
Ah, right. Okay. Well, now let's hear another sound then, and it's more difficult to make out because of the foreground noise of birds singing. But let's hear this sound. Right, now you could hear it in the background, couldn't you, if you were really concentrating?
These very quiet sounds.
And it's meant to be very quiet.
Yes, that's the point. So
Because?
they're really, in this case, they're using the same call types, this very quiet who, and in both cases, they're very quiet. But as you heard in the raptor case, it's even quieter than usual.
So they were being threatened by what, an eagle or?
Yes, so it's either a crested serpent eagle or perhaps an eagle owl. Sitting perched in the forest, they tend to sit there and wait for their opportunity to strike. And the gibbons, instead of making these louder whoos, which then often escalate into song when they see a leopard, instead they just make these very, very quiet whoos, almost as if they're trying to evade the detection of the predator.
And now, why does that interest you so much?
The whoos, I think, are fascinating because we do think of them as just this one class of call. They all sound the same, and to most of us, we can't tell them apart.
Huh. One who sounds like another who. Really.
Exactly. But this study that me and my colleagues have conducted shows that these whoos are actually distinct from one another in significant ways. So that tells us that even within one single call type in these animals, that they're able to show this flexibility and increase their vocal repertoire, which could also suggest that other call types that they're using, they're doing the same thing.
Because let's just hear it when they're talking, I said talking to each other, Freudian slip maybe, but let's just hear this. That's an absolutely wonderful, evocative sound, isn't it? Beautiful sound. And what are they doing there then? That is, I said talking to each other.
Well, this is they're singing together. So a male and a female, when they hold a territory together, will sing every morning, what they call a duet. All the groups are surrounded.
What we call a duet.
Yes,
It's quite.
Absolutely. And they'll all sing together at the same time, and the whole forest will be alive with this cacophony of song.
And what are they doing then when they're doing that? Are they just saying, keep out of my territory, or is it a sexual thing, or what?
We think it's both. We think the songs help to maintain spacing between the groups, to tell this is our group, this is where we are. And I think they also advertise the relationship between the male and the female.
But just a quick thought about your view that this could provide quite important clues to the way human speech evolved.
Yes, so the idea is that if we find things like context-specific calling in non-human primates, it suggests that way back in time, the ancestor that we shared with them also had context-specific calling. So basically it just gives us some clues to the evolutionary roots of complex communication like language.